welcome to the Abnormal, Strange, and Weird podcast, a show dedicated to all such things and everything in between. Now sit back and relax and join us as we talk about weird shit. Well, hello there. Welcome to Abnormal, Strange, and Weird. This is episode 3. My name is Patrick Dyer, and this is Amanda Geezy. This week, I think we're going to get into Area 51, Roswell, and some Bob Lazar. So join us if you will. How are you doing today, Amanda?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, me too.
Yourself? Yeah.
Doing pretty good. I'm tired as shit. But that's just how I am. I don't ever sleep. You sleep?
You know, I spent all of Monday asleep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just all
I woke
day?
up a couple times. I got a little shit showy on Sunday.
Uh-oh. I've been shit showing a lot more than I should be lately. I don't give a shit. Last night every time I fell asleep, I kept, you know how I've been talking about how I've been seeing weird shit? Mm-hmm. I kept expecting to see it. So like I kept
That's like a
around.
non-visible presence.
Yeah. So I kept waking up like every 5 freaking minutes and looking around. So
consistently the past like week or two, I've been awake at 3 a.m. That's like the witching hour.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Consistently.
Maybe we got some
even when I was shitty, I woke up at 3.
Really?
Yep.
We got some mojo going on.
It's nuts. There is some heavy stuff happening.
Well, it was funny after. Actually, I think it was last week when we were doing this. I was doing all the uploading and stuff, and I went upstairs because everything was edited and stuff. So I was like, I better get drunk now. I don't have to do any more work. I just got to upload. So I went up and grabbed some brewskis, and I came back down, and my studio door was shut and locked.
Ooh, whoops!
Isn't that weird? Well, and I didn't do it. That's even the weirder part. At least I don't remember doing it because I wasn't drinking yet. So, and so the key's on the outside because no one ever goes in there. So when I'm fiddling with the key, I couldn't get it to open for like 2 minutes and just opened. So either I'm real dumb and don't know how to use locks, or my little studio mate's messing with me. I don't know. He doesn't like our podcast, I guess.
Maybe he just likes to see you struggle.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah.
So you grew up in the Reno area, right? Nevada?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's, I mean, there's a lot of weird nuclear shit and stuff out there too, isn't there?
Yucca Mountain and the like.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's a dumping site.
Is it? I've never.
I lived right by Battle Mountain.
Really?
And that place felt like you could feel it driving past.
Really? Like
it was just
radiation or what?
It was intense. It was an intense spot. I remember sitting outside with my pops on one of those like swing chairs, just like looking. And we had this view. It was just gorgeous. All of the Sierra Nevadas and then Mount Rose and stuff, you know, right before Lake Tahoe. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then over to the side of the house, though, was Battle Mountain, which is just this tiny little hill. And I saw something fly up like a little tiny light, you know, out the top of it, looked like, and then shoot like straight lightning down into it till the top glowed red. And my dad, like, I didn't say anything. I'm just kind of like,
how old were you?
Oh, I was 5 or 6, 7.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
Real young.
I was young. And he's like, you didn't see that.
He just told you to be quiet.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
like he giggled about it. He was himself. He was a bit of a drinker.
Yeah.
So he was kind of giggly about it. He's like, you didn't see that. Put his arm around me. I'm like, all right. You got it, Pops.
Yeah. Interesting. Was that your first kind of weird sighting you ever seen?
Well, that was the first one I'd saw, like, that was more than just an unusual spot across the sky, you know, not like a satellite. But we'd always we'd lay out on the deck, my brother and I, and we just stare up.
Do
And
you have
I've
a?
always been just drawn. If I'm outside smoking at night, like I'm stuck with this.
Yeah, I always have to. Did you have a pretty unencumbered view out there
Hmm.
compared to out here?
Oh yeah, we were far from downtown Reno too, so it was all nice and dark.
Yeah, I never. I was such a city boy my entire life. I never, you know, I didn't see a artificial lightless sky for until I was probably in my 20s, and it just blew me away what you could see.
Hmm.
Not even weird shit, just you can see some of the clouds and the space, and it was nuts. It was when we
Yeah,
were
like the
playing in
Milky
Ransom.
Way.
We'd go up and do Mishawaka, and then we would stop and like along the way and just kind of go into the super dark areas. It was nuts. Or after the show when they turned everything off, it just blew my mind.
You didn't ever go camping before you turned 20?
Ah, hell no.
Hell no.
Ah, hell no. I
Like
went.
clearly.
I was in Boy Scouts, and
You don't seem very rugged.
oh fuck no. Well, it's because my family never did that ever.
Sure.
Absolutely not. And the one time I went camping, like with Boy Scouts, I made my family come pick me up.
You were like,
I was like,
nope.
I couldn't even last one fucking night. It was pathetic. And the other time, my dad and all the other dads came, and it must have been pretty. It must have been like a winter camping or something, because I remember, or maybe it was the beginning of the Bronco season. They all brought, those little TVs back then. You had to have like 12D batteries to get it to work, and they're just watching the Broncos. I was like, yeah, this is
Mm,
really fucking camping, isn't it?
mm,
No, I'm not a rugged man. I hated it. I still hate it. Ugh. Ugh.
mm. I mean, I dig it.
I hear one noise and I'm ready to go against myself and buy firearms and just kill
Oh, I mean,
everything.
I feel like everybody should have a firearm.
Nah, I'm terrified of those bastards. I
We
won't
can
go
go
near.
learn how to shoot them.
I've shot them and it seems pretty fun, but I don't like it. It's too much power for me. Plus, I'd kill myself pretty quick,
Mm.
or have a road rage incident, or I'd start seeing weird shit at the end of my bed and start shooting. Yep. So yeah, you're not. I mean, you're used to all the weird desert stuff.
Yeah, there's plenty to see in Reno.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine? Like I was doing a little research into 40 Roswell, 1947 and all that stuff, and then it got me going down like the flying saucer craze. I might have mentioned it last week that guy, I think his name was Kenneth Arnold. He's the one who he kind of started the saucer craze. He was a pilot, and he was in Washington, like right around Rainier Mountain, I believe, and they said 9 crafts, and it was like flying saucers skipping across, and that's where the whole name was coined. And that
Mm.
was like a month before the crash in Roswell. That was in June of 47, which was kind of interesting to me. And so when the one in July of 47 happened, that's like the most famous thing anybody's ever talked about, and how the rancher, what was his name? William Brazel, I believe his name was.
Mm.
He saw a crash and he went out and there was just debris everywhere. And then the Air Force came out and started collecting everything and wrote about it in the newspaper. I actually have a picture right here, which
Mm.
they said the Air Force captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. Everybody's seen that, but and then they immediately redacted it. And
Mm.
everybody's familiar with the story, but what I thought was quite interesting was, the fake debris photo that everybody's seen as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some people on the internet, I haven't been able to find good photos of it, and have zoomed in on that little piece of paper. The other military man, and they said they've been able to find interesting writings on there.
On the one he's holding, right?
Yeah,
The sheet of paper. Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen that before.
But after they redacted it, Americans were so good at just doing what they were told. No one talked about it really after that. There was still sort of the craze, but it wasn't brought up again until the 70s when
Mm-hmm.
one of the lieutenants was like on his deathbed and admitted it was a cover up, which, they said it was a weather balloon. And then it all exploded. Then the whole Roswell craze exploded.
Mm.
And still going today. Have you ever been to Roswell?
I have.
Yeah, I've never gone. I keep planning on it and I never go. So have you
I went
done
on
like,
tour.
yeah?
Went to a museum and this cute little cafe with, fake alien shit everywhere.
Sure. How close do they let you? I know you can't get close without the people coming after your ass.
I mean, I was just in the town and like I went and I mean, I was on tour too. So I had a schedule and I could only go out certain hours. So I was able to
Sure.
run out and grab a bite and go through this little mini, you know, roadside attraction type museum.
Sure.
And it was just all kinds of alien like toys and trinkets and
Yeah.
bullshit.
It's
Like,
probably the best thing
it
that ever
was so,
happened to that place.
yeah, for sure.
Could you
It
imagine
was,
being on that ranch though, and then some crazy shit happens? You go out there, you don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden the military's just there telling you to
mhm.
shut the fuck up and collecting everything.
Oh man,
When they say they've, you know, it seems impossible to me, but the military, when they want to do something, they do it.
holy shit, yeah.
How they collected
Talk.
every little piece, which is nuts in such a short amount of time.
Oh yeah.
Supposedly, there's stuff out there that people have collected over the years that has been tested, and no one knows what the hell it is.
Well, that's something Bob Lazar talks about is how there are warehouses and warehouses of stuff that they don't have the technology to test yet
Yeah,
or the ability to do it safely without risking exposure. So it's just sitting.
yeah,
He was even talking about one of them being found in an archaeological dig,
really.
something that is tedious and like you sift through all the sand. Like they cleared that place out,
Hmm.
quick. They
That's
must have.
well, and they're so damn good at it. I can't mow my lawn in less than an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a
Well, and it got
nice.
me thinking because Roswell happened in um, 47, and they officially didn't open Area 51 until 55, supposedly.
Hmm.
So where do you think they stored that shit? Clearly, other military bases
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in that
there's
amount
sites
of
all over,
time.
like in New Mexico.
Yeah. Well, what's the other? What's that other big base in New Mexico? Is it Dulce or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard they also moved stuff up to Montana. Well, I can't
Mm.
remember the name of that military base. That doesn't matter. I ain't a military man.
It's almost like any military base might have them.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. But I also thought it was pretty damn interesting. I got some nice photos of Area 51 too. A nice satellite
Mhm.
photo.
What's the
Um,
place he worked at? Was it S9 or
it
something?
was S4.
S4.
Yeah, so supposedly, here's a picture of that. Groom Lake is Area 51, and down lower is Papoose Lake.
Mm-hmm.
That supposedly the even more secretive base is that they've never admitted to is
Mm-hmm.
S4.
That's where Bob Lazar worked.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they erased his flippin' educational history, his
yeah.
transcripts, but they couldn't scrub like I spent a lot of time today watching people talking shit about Bob Lazar, seeing if I could find the stuff that would hit
Well,
me to be like, but he's so consistent. They couldn't wipe the yearbooks of people, so he was able to find signature of his life at MIT and stuff. But
oh, did he?
yeah,
Because I know they. This is one of the few conspiracy things I've ever kind of bought into. Usually I'm very skeptical. But it was 1989 he started coming out with all this stuff about backwards engineering, spacecraft. He's the first one to talk about Area 51 publicly.
mm-hmm.
In fact, they didn't actually admit Area 51 was a thing until 2013. And it was the only reason they did that is because they have that Freedom of Information Act. So you can ask whatever you want, and then they can drag their heels, but they have to declassify it. I don't know when that started. But somebody did it in 2005, and they didn't even acknowledge it till 2013 after that. Finally,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then they just talked more about the spy planes and stuff they worked on.
Mm.
But so that means in 1989, he said it was.
Did you get rid of my little sauce cups?
No.
The red and white one?
Yep. Hi.
Hi.
I just got yelled at of sauce cups, just like a flying saucer.
It's,
Damn
see,
it.
it's
I had
relevant.
that damn door locked too. Oh well. But anyways, so 1989 he starts talking about Area 51, and he was completely right. And then, and he was doing it because he didn't want to. He said he was in fear of his life, so he wanted everything out in the public, and didn't want. And then he figured that was the only way he can do it with that, because if he got killed, then it would prove it was true. And then if he lived, it would kind of prove it was true, but then they can also debunk his life to
Yeah,
make him feel, look crazy.
for 40 or for 40, damn near 40 years.
Yeah, and so they've consistently gone after his education. The MIT, what was the other school he went to?
Caltech
Caltech. And they said there was
just
no
erased him.
record of him. And to me, that is one of the few things I think I actually believe in as far as the government, you know.
They can do that quick.
Yeah, yeah.
And they threaten people. Like there was a professor who he was like, go ask this guy if he remembers me. And somebody went and asked that dude, and he was like, nope, I didn't even teach at MIT, but there's like still record of him teaching there. But for the fact that he would say it, he's saving his own ass,
Yeah.
especially if you can easily go look and see that he was
if you can.
a teacher there.
Yeah. Well, and that
It's
was
nuts.
pre-internet, so if he was he'd have to go find the directories, and I mean, it's not impossible, but definitely more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And why would you do that, But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. I kind of looked down because, they said there was all the spy plane stuff, and they did a lot of cool stuff, just non-alien related. I thought was pretty sweet. Like the U-2 spy plane. And this is, like the 1955, they built this thing that can go like 100,000 feet up and take pictures of Russia and whoever else, which is insane. Then they worked on SR-71, the Blackbird. I used to love that thing when I was a kid for some reason. It came out like in the 60s or something like that. And
My
it was the
brother was super into
fastest.
it too.
Yeah, it was like the little teenage boy thing. It was like a Lamborghini and the SR-71.
Posters and
Yeah.
scholastics.
Well, in fact, my mom's best friend when I was a kid, her husband worked for the Air Force, and he knew when they were doing a flyby about that with that thing. And he had us all go outside and listen to the sonic boom. It was insane because they normally didn't hit those speeds over because it can break windows, and it was pretty cool. I couldn't see it, but I could sure as fuck hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did the first drone ever. It was a Lockheed Martin D-21. It was the first unmanned drone. And they used to put that thing on the back of the SR-71. Kind of like whenever you've seen the space shuttle and launch it the same way. I thought that was pretty interesting. And that's where they did the original stealth stuff too.
Yeah.
They did I think it's Have is what you call it, the Have Blue. That was like the first stealth plane. And then that turned into the one everybody can recognize as the F-117.
Mm-hmm.
That one's pretty prevalent now.
Isn't that part of Elon Musk's kid's name?
Oh, I don't know if it is.
It's part of it.
Ugh.
It's their favorite. It's their favorite plane. It's
God
like
damn it.
AI.
Every time I like Elon Musk, he pulls me back a little bit with his weird crap. But the last one everybody recognizes too is the F-22. So even with the non-alien stuff, or even if they're using some of the stuff to build these things, that's some pretty cool crap that they've done there.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty incredible.
It's probably pretty incredible the inspiration they had.
Yeah.
Bob Lazar said that there was like, what was it, 9 different planes there? or not planes, craft.
Yeah, it was something like that. And the one he always talked about was his favorite was the sport model.
Mm,
You ever hear him talk about that? It was like supposedly the fastest one. The sport model.
probably, I think I've watched.
He's always
and
talking
watched.
about it. Well, and he talked about that was another thing that was hard to disprove. That kind of makes me believe in it more. Is he talked about the element 115, and that was also in 1989, and they didn't officially discover it until 2003, and
Mhm.
then they didn't put it on the periodic table till 2004. So that was what a decade before that he was talking about it. So he clearly knew some shit, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
intrigued by him, and he was, the top of the news in the late 80s, early 90s, and then he disappeared too, probably by design.
Mm.
And then, what's his name? Jeremy Corbell did the one on Netflix. And that's where I discovered him. I hadn't heard of him before that.
I had, because he was on Rogan.
Oh,
Well,
was he?
no, there was something that came out a while back. I had known about Bob Lazar, but I hadn't thought about him for a long time until I saw him on Rogan.
No,
I
I
wonder if
know.
that was before or after that special came out.
Yeah, I
I
wonder.
wonder.
It's probably around the same time period, right? I never watched Rogan. I'm like
Oh, I remember what it was. I had an old roommate who was super into George Newry and Coast to Coast.
sure.
And so he had me watching a couple things. And
Well, I love Coast to Coast. George Norrie. He still
didn't
does
he?
stuff with Jeremy Corbell now.
Who,
But
I thought he died or something.
George Norrie, no, you're talking the original Coast to Coast. Oh, why can't I remember his name all of a sudden? Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Shoot.
the hell's his first name now? I want to say Adam, but it's not Adam. Jesus Christ.
Adam.
How pathetic.
And I'm like, Graham? No.
No,
Graham Bell.
but I fell in love with that once on my way back from Nevada, actually.
Hmm.
My FM wouldn't work, so I turned on AM, and that was the first time I ever heard.
Coast to Coast.
Yeah, it was on the tip of my tongue again. People are probably yelling right now who listen to this stuff.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Dang
whatever.
it.
But I guess what I liked about him is even if he believed in it or not, he knew how to get the story out there and then just like tease it and make it more interesting. He could talk for 4 hours and you wouldn't even get bored, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then
Mm-hmm.
he passed the reins to George Norrie, and I guess they started having a little beef towards the end. I read about Art Bell. Jesus Christ! See, that's why I said, did I say Mark?
Oh, you said Adam, for Christ's
Adam,
sake.
yeah, Jesus Christ, Art Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Art
was
Bell.
incredible. I liked that show a lot.
Mm.
I would drive around whenever I was having a bad night or something and just throw on the AM at like 2 in the morning.
Mm.
Absolute favorite. So I guess I've always been into the weird stuff like this.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I've gone on some weird tangents too, or like wormholes.
Sure.
I don't know. But Bob
About
Lazar has definitely
actual
been,
wormholes.
I mean, I don't know, sometimes maybe.
Well, that 115, they said that once contained is how you can bend gravity.
Right.
And that's kind of how the way he described how it moved is not side to side. It would be sideways.
Belly
and then,
forward.
Yeah, and then they would create a gravitational pull in front of it. And that's that famous video that's out now from the military.
And it looks like a heart, and the saucer makes it look like an eye in the middle. Have you seen that symbol?
No.
The heart with the eye in the middle?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
It's pretty incredible. But there was somebody I listened to today talking about if you created a wormhole, it would, before it collapsed, it would suck in all the air, all the trees, everything around whatever wormhole. So it would be impossible. And I'm like, how can you say that if you don't even know what's being used or the technology. Like you
Yeah.
assume the physics are impossible on something you have, no grasp on.
I guess based on our physics, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Fit,
and we certainly don't know shit. We know a lot more than we did. And who knows if any of that's true. This is, good old Earth physics.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were worried about when they started doing those tests where they're shooting atoms at each other or particles, the particle accelerator. They were like, yeah, it's probably going to do a wormhole or a black hole and we're all fucked.
Wasn't that 2012?
I guess it was, wasn't
I
it?
feel like we've been getting fucked since. To
Yeah.
be honest, it
Oh,
feels like
do you
we
think they...
definitely jumped a timeline or something.
I've never
What with
actually thought
our
about that. You think they might have caused some stuff?
yes,
Interesting.
I do.
Well, they
I
better...
absolutely do.
Hmm.
And I feel like maybe the ancient Mayans knew it was
Mm.
gonna happen
They're like, don't fuck
in
with this shit.
2012. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
No,
I
I've
know
never
that was
even
the
thought
end of the
about
great year or whatever. The
the
Mayan
Mayan calendar.
calendar.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's up for debate too, depending on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we don't know what the hell they were trying to say. We certainly do not. Could have been all kinds of stuff they knew.
Didn't they while we were in so I know the beginning of quarantine they released a bunch of CIA files for UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of got buried in all the COVID stuff.
Oh yeah, I think that was planned pretty well.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and if you look
Sneak
at it,
this in.
it was still heavily redacted. I looked at some of it, but they had dumped like thousands upon thousands of files.
Mm-hmm.
And, the average person's not going to read 40,000. But there's somebody out there, it. They're probably making notes right now.
There's probably teams and teams.
Oh, yeah.
We can only hope.
I would be bored. I'd wait for the video to come out or the book. I'm like, I ain't not going through this shit. But no, they did that, and they've released all these Pentagon videos. And, I mean, what was the one a couple weeks ago about the pyramid? Did you see that one?
Wasn't there like a pyramid floating over the
Or a
pyramid
triangle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was the second time that's happened. I remember a few years back there was an... Yeah, well, yeah. That has been caught on video, I should say.
Yeah.
This one kind of creeped me out because it was like a pyramid. But it was like an actual pyramid, and it was caught with all these different angles, and it was over the Pentagon, and the way it was spinning, it was crazy as hell. You can, who bought the rights to that video is that Paranormal Caught on Camera. It's on like Discovery or something like that. So that's the only way I can find it now is if I Google that. So they must have bought the rights to that shit.
Wow.
But yeah, no.
Send it to me.
Yeah, I definitely will. But then this
'Cause it was
most recent
over.
one, what bugs me about it is, damn well they have the best cameras in the world out there, and they're only releasing,
Frames.
well, not the frames, but it's always night vision or, heat cameras or whatever, and that's all they're releasing.
Mm-hmm.
So, they have some high def shit out there of something, even if it's our own crap, which is also plausible.
Mm-hmm.
They have very nice footage of it.
For sure.
Which is annoying. And we all have fucking 4K cameras on our goddamn phone.
Well, you can lock a drone onto something and it'll go after it.
Yeah.
Filming the entire way.
Totally. Yeah, you can, everything these days is so nice. So I guess that might be another conspiracy I'm kind of buying into is the slow drip of information.
Mm-hmm.
They might be tired of... It's kind of like a cheating spouse who's tired of hiding it. They're like, this is a lot of fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, finally, Jesus Christ, here you go. Leave me alone. There's aliens.
Look over there. Everybody stay home. All right. There's this deadly virus. There's also UFO footage you can look at. But wear 3 masks. Get your butthole swabbed.
I'll take a butthole swab, though, just for fun.
I saw this infographic and the dude looked like he liked it.
It's probably the first time anyone's gone near there for him.
Ew, that stuff.
Yeah, and I really, I like that stuff more than anything. The stuff in the universe and
I thought you
what's
meant
out
butt
there
stuff.
and butt stuff. Somebody should clip that there. But there has to be just so much more beyond our understanding and right in front of us, for God's sakes.
Yeah, just watch Bob Lazar talk about it.
Yeah.
I was really bummed too that one of the guys that because Elon Musk, you mentioned him earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It bummed me out and I lost all affection I had for the man when he jumped on Amber Heard's fucking trauma train and started covering her ass for fucking like embezzling money, lying about it.
Who's that?
She
No, I know
divorced.
Amber Heard.
Oh, okay.
Who are you talking about? Being
Elon
disappointed.
Musk.
Oh, Elon. I thought you was. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
he
Yeah.
he paid. She was supposed to donate all this money and didn't from her divorce, and it made her look like she was not a gold digger by
Sure.
this. You remember that whole thing? Anyway, he paid those anonymously and
Oh, really?
like hosed her in Johnny Depp's house, and Johnny Depp's he's my first love,
Yeah. I
first and
always liked him.
longest. Yeah, he's the
Not
best.
sexual.
He's the
Not
best
yet.
kind of human out there.
He's a goofy
He's got
son
a
of a
house
bitch.
up in Indian Hills.
Oh, really?
I was like, he's gonna come into my bar, willing it. Like,
Never did. Motherfucker.
no, he didn't. Not while I worked there.
Yeah. He seems like he'd be at least fun to hang out with. A weird motherfucker.
Full blown, it'd be fun. I
Well,
love
he's-
Hunter Thompson too, and he like totally now embodies him.
Like yeah. Well, and the thing about him though is he's been so out of it for so long. He's been famous for so long. He probably cannot relate to any other human being.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Oh, he's so good.
on a sane level.
Dude, he goes into children's hospitals. He's always in character though.
Yeah.
But he says that he like adapts his characters and they're always a part of him
Sure.
once he develops them. Anyway, fuck Elon
Yeah.
for fucking with Amber Heard.
Well,
Because fuck that chick.
yeah.
She's garbage. Ooh.
My favorite story about her, related to anything we talk about, is how she took a dump in his bed.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Good
You
for
should
her.
tag this stuff.
That's my kind of gal. She's
Ugh.
like, here. She's like, oh yeah, there's poop in your bed. That
Yeah.
takes a special kind of crazy. That's my kind of. That's
She
my
cut off
kind
the
of
tip
girl.
of his finger.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She just whacked a glass bottle of vodka on his hand hanging off the edge of a marble counter.
Oh wow. So it was just collateral damage.
Elon could see the abuse happening.
She
And
seems like
he's
fun
like, here's
too.
some money.
Yeah.
Cute little blondie.
Hell yeah. That's what I would have done too, though, if I was him. Like, hey, I'm gonna be able to get to Mars in a couple years, and take advantage of this crazy little blonde bitch too.
Just give her a couple bucks here and there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good for her. Well,
Good.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm conflicted with that damn Elon Musk. He's such a nerdy, unrelatable maniac, but he's definitely changed the world for the better in a lot of ways.
I mean,
You know?
Yeah, he tries to be relatable too.
He tries. It's impossible. He's just. Have you ever? Do you follow him on Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to follow sometimes.
I
'Cause
am
he's
off.
such
Well,
a-
what he's been doing with Doge Coin,
I know. I'm doing damn good with that. I'm like,
Oof.
yeah.
It hurts me. It hurts me every time I see it go up. I mean, I still have some, but I bailed. I sold. We should just tag these things too. Why not?
Yeah. See, I'm in it for the long haul, just like my own abusive relationships. I'm like, I'll watch it go up and down, but I won't get rid of it. And I bought into it. I was one of the lucky few. Actually, it's whenever that Cyberpunk came out, that new game. I was getting drunk one night and my cat was dying of cancer. So she's in my lap and I'm playing Cyberpunk and I was going through Robin Hood. and I saw that crypto, and it was like, it was less than a penny.
Right. 0.003 is when I bought in
Yeah.
2018.
So I think I put $19 in, and I think it was 1,200 shares,
Mhm.
and I just forgot about it. And now
I got
it's
I got
worth, it's
20.
almost worth $1,200. So
Yeah, I got
I've had,
2,600 and sold it last month.
you gotta stick in for these abusive
I was like,
cryptos.
it's up to 0.7 cents
Oh,
right
see what
now.
they did is they look over here at us. We're Mr. Bitcoin. Look at us, Bitcoin. But Bitcoin was the same. It was worth jack shit back then.
Mhm. They're thinking Ethereum's gonna bypass.
Oh, really? I've never
Yeah.
done that one. I got Litecoin as well
Mm.
because I'm going to
See, and I
spend that
only
in
got
space.
Doge.
It was that same night I just was like, here's $100. I'm going to spread it around. And what I had left over is what I bought that Doge with. Or maybe I did 200. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that stuff's pushing $1. It's getting there.
Yeah.
That makes me
Yeah.
smile because I've never been able to do anything. I'm never lucky with any of that shit ever. Nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Dang
but
it.
I know
Well,
what's going to happen is it's going to hit $1, and then I'm not going to sell, and then it's going to go back to 0.0001 penny again.
ooh, that I'm buying back in. I got like 59 right now, so I've already tripled my money.
Nice. That's all that
But
matters.
dang it, it would have been way bigger. It would have been way bigger, and I was stoked for that $100 I got.
Oh yeah.
Because I bought in for like $5 in I think it was 2018. I just looked, I pulled it up,
Wow.
my purchase history. It's like, dang it. Oh, it hurts. That's the name of the game, though. Fucking Elon, thanks though
Yeah, you son of a bitch. But yeah,
for
he's
the
helped.
money.
He's helped with that.
Thanks.
And I want a Tesla real bad.
Yeah.
I wonder what these long-term civilizations, what their mode of transportation is.
Mm-hmm.
You've talked about it being telepathy and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I wonder if they still just want to get in whatever their version of a car is or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and what it runs on. And you think there's currency too?
No,
You think it's all just childish in our humanity?
I think everything was available for everybody.
Mm.
It wasn't even like a caste system. There were elders and like a council, and then everybody else all in
Sure.
the same playing field. Minimalist lifestyle.
You think there was laws and all that stuff? Well, clearly, because there's probably still psychos.
I don't think there were.
No?
I think they self-governed. Yeah, they were super evolved.
Yeah.
Like aliens, like they couldn't. Oh, what did they say? They just found like the flicker of a star, like the pause in the light that would come out made it science and math that something was at least a quarter of the size of this star swinging around it or harnessing its energy
Oh,
like a
yeah.
sail.
I've heard
So
of a couple things they've think that's what it is, or
mhm,
something they've actually built completely around stars too
mhm.
to harnessed with a T, harness it.
Hell yeah, I seen it. But to be in that sort of
Oh
a
man,
productive
yeah.
society, there has to not be there,
Well, I guess
it
it could
has to
be
be.
the complete other way is complete fear. Could be the opposite.
No, I think that's what we got here.
Yeah,
That's why we're not evolved.
maybe.
It's got to be like, there's got to be no room for like theft. And given that people probably don't work 5 days a week with a weekend to get drunk on, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that kind of a lifestyle probably isn't what produces such feats.
yeah. Well,
Look at
fuck
how
all that.
Elon lives. Huh?
So, well, fuck that then. I
Yeah,
want,
fuck it.
I want a bigger TV than my neighbor and a fucking 40. I actually think about that. Like, if there is a society that's, so advanced that none of that stuff matters, just the progression of letting go. That's got to be tough.
Hmm.
Generation to generation, because even us, generation to generation is completely different. So
It's not hard to let go of a black and white TV though, when you've got
yeah,
this posh, TV in your hand
totally. Oh no,
with
I
that
need.
dang dial.
Oh, I used to love my stupid black and white TV. I used
Yeah,
to
they're
hook.
cool and retro.
Nah, not because of that. It's because I was a nerd and I had my color TV so I could watch Johnny Carson when I was a kid, and then I would play Super Nintendo on my black and white TV.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, because we are such a material society. It it's really hard to even boggle the thought of not having anything to yourself, and it's for the good of humanity or whatever you are, and that we have this ability to harness all these things, but you can't be yourself and do it. You know what I mean? You have to do it for the group. It's hard to think about.
Yeah, I don't know if you're on the right track with that thought process though.
Well, it's just
So I feel like
ingrained
everybody
in us.
still has their own. You have to take like ultra good care of yourself in order to be able to like astral project or play in
Hmm.
your dreams. Like even the better nutrition you eat and the more you meditate and exercise and practice breath work and that sort of thing, like your body gets healthier. Like when you take good care of yourself, when you
Sure.
have your space to be alone and be yourself. I think a big thing was um individuality within the collective in a weird way.
Well, I think, well, at least to us, that's pretty important. But
Is
to
it?
individuality, we all think we are.
We all
I mean,
dress alike,
and that's
do what we're
how.
told.
Well, yeah, but you see more and more, especially on the internet, that people think they're being individual, and they're really just not even that interesting. Look how interesting I am. It's like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I saw two people at the grocery store yesterday with fake tails walking around, holding each other's hands. And I was like, no one thinks you're an individual. They just think you're a dick.
Comes in waves.
It's
I
like,
remember walking around with a tail sometimes in high school.
yeah, in high school, that's totally acceptable. But when you're a fucking adult, knock it off.
Yeah. Well,
Go
that's
be.
you telling them not to be an individual.
Well, that's when, yeah. It's because we need the collective to build solar arrays, God damn it. But if
Star
you,
sales. Shit.
I
We
think
got
you would.
Elon. We just make sure he's happy
Damn right.
and reproducing weird named babies.
I just want him to give me a free Tesla. It would cost him nothing. He could write it off.
Mm-hmm.
Jerk.
He did that for Amber.
Well, I guess I got to get blonde and look young and
Boobs.
hot.
What's his name? Chris Holmes told Brian Posehn if he wanted to go, if he wanted an autograph to go grow some tits. And Brian Posehn's like, I made it.
See, that's
This
perfect.
got bigger. Oh, why did I think of that? Yeah, you were gonna grow. You were gonna go blonde.
Oh yeah, I'll have to go blonde. Well, it's easy now. I'm getting so gray; it won't be that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stain it with turmeric or something.
I'm on it. The good old soy sauce color.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, didn't you get in trouble for the amount of soy sauces? I feel like that was probably my first podcast ever with
Yeah.
the other show.
Yep, on the Sofabab show. Go to sofabab.com. Oh, yeah. Well, because
Pluggy wuggies.
I'm ultra sensitive about freshness of food
Mm-hmm.
just from being a restaurant kid my whole life. So I would use it like 3 times, and if it was like 2 weeks old, that shit's out.
You keep them in the fridge. I heard it.
It was in the fridge, but I wouldn't use
Like,
it again, and I would buy another one, is what I'm saying. But
mm-hmm.
I got smart and threw away the evidence. So whenever I
Let's
bought
see.
a new one, I'd toss it,
Toss the old one, the newish old one.
Yeah,
That's funny. So for Bab.
Sofabab. And what's the name of your tarot card company?
It's
Plug that.
Greenheart Tarot.
Greenheart Tarot.
333.
Yeah, if you guys are out there and you want a tarot card reading, she'll take care of you. Absolutely.
I had a couple people talking to me about getting on here and talking, but I do think that people get scared.
Yeah.
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 Did you see
We're
that? The guy
harmless.
Robert Marsh?
The
Bob.
author
Huh?
on the one that direct messaged us.
Did he?
Somebody did. Some
Oh
author.
no, that was Luke Schmaltz.
No. Yeah, I don't
No?
know. I don't know what you're. No.
Huh.
I didn't see what you was talking about.
Oh yeah. So he worked at a secret base in New Mexico. I told him we were going to talk about Bob Lazar, and then he started like ping, 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 comment.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
have to
invite
tag
him
you.
on here.
I know. And then another friend sent me this video about bath rituals that I sent it to you. We should talk about that next time. It has like Epstein ties and ancient Egyptian ties and Gandhi. Oh my goodness. Gandhi, like,
He was a bad boy.
oh my.
He was a
I
very
had no
bad boy.
idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. He would
Yeah.
test his celibacy by sleeping naked with young women.
Oh yeah, he was a naughty boy.
But just so long as he didn't come, he was celibate.
Interesting.
Yeah, there were some young girls.
Well, I couldn't
Dang
do that.
it.
Well, there's something about, we've talked about that before on our other shows. Something about being just any kind of power or fame. They are all drawn to young women. It's very interesting. Not like 18-year-olds or early 20s, like young women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it seems like a pretty common thing. I don't get it.
Like you can be in our club and we'll let you get famous if you're on board with this shit.
When I saw it all the time being on tour and stuff, you know, and you don't know how old these girls were, but they looked awfully young to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just don't even understand. But I guess I'm not that famous either. You all become Gandhi. You're like, oh, I get it.
I get it. Fucking Bill Hicks talking about 15-year-olds. That hurt my feelings. It didn't sink in for quite a few years. And then I was like, oh shit. He was talking about being a pedophile. Dang it.
Awful.
One of my heroes.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Fallen
lucky
heroes.
I never got into him. So, what
I blame Tool.
Oh, yeah. I guess they used to do that crap all the time, didn't they?
Well, their Enema album, Anima, depending on who.
Yeah.
It was covered with his quotes and likeness.
Well, shit, I'm never listening to Tool again.
Why?
Just teasing.
It's my friends. They're not my friends, but it was like hurt for my friends in Tool.
Well, that makes me think of something else. What do you think advanced civilizations do for entertainment? I wonder if there's still music or if it's even more just about the frequencies, or is there visual stimulation, or is it just all through the brain?
Because I know that even we were talking about Stephen Greer last time. He uses drums and stuff. Helps you get into music as medicine. It's so powerful and what it can do to the brain.
Oh yeah,
how it
definitely.
can center you and make you like that's how time travel is.
But what do you think?
Most
as our brain evolves, do you think music evolves to like a whole nother plane where it's just, just a frequency hitting you or something?
Well, consider what like Robert Johnson, old blues man, would think of Skrillex.
Yeah, no kidding. Or what I think of Skrillex too.
Right.
But you actually bring that up, is this the only thing I do like about that kind of music is the feeling of it. I don't like listening to it, but getting hit with that stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's almost by design that way because a lot of people are out there on MDMA.
Totally. Well, it makes sense. Well, and The standard tuning is set to 440 hertz, and they've proved that that does stuff to you. So I
Reduces
imagine all the different
hysteria.
hertz. I actually read quite an interesting article on really low hertz that some old buildings can make naturally by like these, having big halls, and just the way the air moves and stuff can give you eerie feelings when there's nothing really going on.
Like in the pyramid.
Yeah.
Pyramid, the King's Chamber, whatever, the Pyramid of Giza. Like you get that same kind of. I've heard people get that same kind of feeling.
Oh, it's got to be creepy. Ugh.
There's probably so many different ways that you can manipulate, like the shape of your surroundings.
With sound waves.
Didn't they? Yeah, with just even you being, how they have those like completely soundproofed rooms that make it so you can hear your heartbeat super loud.
It's creepy.
It's there's this. They built a pyramid in Russia, and it's really tall and kind of steep. But they can bring plants in there that have been like dying, and then they start growing, and people have been able to heal themselves in there, and it's interesting.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it, frankly.
And just your presence, like your heartbeat creates this electromagnetic field.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Because it's a constant movement. That's how you create that stuff. Like
I've been in not completely soundproof, but damn near, and it's disorienting. The studio we went, this guy, he, went down to the bare walls and built out. So when you walked in there, your ears got weird, and you just felt this. It was intense.
Yeah, because your body feels sound as much as you just hear it. So eliminate that, and you feel almost like you're in outer space.
Yeah, I want to go into one of those completely dead chambers now, just to
Hell
feel
yeah.
it.
Pictures of them are crazy.
It's got to be creepy.
Pull one up real quick?
I don't have my Google set up. I did something. I don't know what I did last week.
Oh,
something's different.
It.
I'll get it back for next week, though.
Yeah, if y'all are listening and you're interested, Google it.
Absolutely.
Give it a Google. It's super cool. I want to get in there. But people say the sound of their own heartbeat and pulse throughout, like the blood moving in the veins, like gets crushing how loud it is, because you can't.
I get anxiety with that when I smoke too much pot as it is. I couldn't imagine. Because, you could sometimes get in your ears. That it just fucks me up. Then I got to turn on the TV or something.
That happens kind of often when I meditate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I feel like when I drop into my heart is when I start hearing it.
Yeah, I guess that's what I don't like is the aloneness. Ooh, it's scary. Well, I don't know. I think we've done some pretty good topics this week. I hope everybody's enjoying what we're doing here. This was episode 3 of the Abnormal, Strange, and Weird podcast. Go to ASW.com for all our content. And at the bottom of the page, there's a little email thing if you ever want to email us or contact us or join us. We'd invite it. Yeah. Go to our other projects, mine's sofabab.com, which Amanda frequents often. And go ahead and plug your tarot cards again.
Come see me at Green Heart Tarot 333.
It's mostly on Instagram.
Mostly.
All right. Don't be afraid to contact us. We'll talk to you guys next week.